fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and here is the final of my 70 AAR Cuda that I built from the Revell kit. And this is the 2007 1/24 scale kit. But I just wanted to show this and tell you a little bit more about the AAR Cuda, if you're familiar with the car or not. Definitely a wild one, and you know, one of my favorites, because when Plymouth decided that they were going to do this, or just Mopar in general, when they decided to go racing, they pretty much went all out, especially for the street car. They didn't mess around with this car when they introduced it for the street. The race car was limited to 5 liter, so 302, 305 cubic inch limit, and so that's what the race cars had. But to homologate them for racing, they had to have a street version, and so they wanted to have the special hood, which is a fiberglass hood for weight savings, and it's also functional. I don't know if you can see it in the kit. You can see the air cleaner through the scoop, but it had the scoop in there to help get cold air into the engine, and also a couple of vents back here to help extract the hot air out of the engine compartment. They also, you know, as part of the special ducktail rear spoiler here was also part of the package. The side exiting exhaust, and the little chin spoilers that are right up here, eyebrow spoilers. I call them chin spoilers. I've heard them called eyebrow spoilers. We're all part of the homologation package. They wanted all of that, and then they gave it the same stripe that the race cars had. And I don't know if you guys know this, AAR Cuda, the AAR, actually is because Dan Gurney and Suede Savage were the racers, Dan Gurney's race team. The actual team was called the All-American Racers, and that's where AAR came from, All-American Racers. So kind of a little piece of trivia for you. That actually meant something, and it was Dan Gurney's race team. So kind of a little throwback to that. And then in the street car, they put a 340 in it with a 6-pack on it, 3 2-barrel carburetors. And all of the AAR Cudas and the TA Challengers were equipped this way, but they were not all built exactly the same. What's interesting is I understand that they announced to the dealers that they were going to do this, and they were going to do a batch, and they made like 2,700 of them. It was like 2,723 or something like that, or 2,728. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but there was 2,700 of them that they were making, and they did it in a batch. They literally built them all in 6 weeks. So from a little bit of I think it was March, April, in a 6-week time frame, they built all of them in that time. But the dealers were allowed to order them. You can get them in just about any color you wanted, even Panther Pink. There's some Panther Pink ones out there. So the color, you can pick the color, automatic or manual, and they all came with 8 3/4 rear ends, and then the side pipe exhaust, and the 340 engine. You couldn't spec the engine, and this is the only car you can get the 346 pack in from the factory. So they did some of that. And another thing that they did with the cars was the whole blackout on the hood, and then, you know, the color scheme. So the special parts were all part of it. And the staggered tire sizes. It's actually one of the first cars to have 2 different sizes, front and rear, which I actually swapped out and did on that. I explained that in my build video. But you can see the stance right there. And then tilt it up a little bit so you can get an idea, a little bit bigger tire in the back. But so they had spec'd these things, but there were some other options. I believe every interior was black. You couldn't get any other color interior. No, wait, I think I'm wrong on that. I think you could pick other interior colors, because a lot of the options were the interior. Not all of them came with the rally gauges, and the different steering wheels, and whether or not you wanted the front and rear speakers and rear defroster. So a lot of the interior options were available. All of them had the rear antenna. The antenna on the fender, you know, the fiberglass hood interfered with that, so they moved the antenna to the back. But all of them were for the most part, spec'd out this way. So mechanically, you really didn't have a whole lot of options. I think you could change the rear gears. All came with the 340 engine, which was rated at 290 horsepower and 335 foot-pounds of torque in street trim. And there was a few things done to the engine as well. Special cam, and I believe the internals were beefed up a little bit. The exhaust manifolds are unique, but it was the only factory 6-pack, 340 6-pack. Even though a few dealers did take the 6-packs and offer them on other cars as dealer upgrades. Grant Spalding Dodge did that to a few Demons that I've read about, and some of those. But so that's pretty much it on the AAR Cuda. It is a 1-year only car, 1970 only, and I'm real happy with the way this one built up. You know, it's got some awkward things about the body, and like I said, I built it pretty much out of the box with really 2 exceptions. I keep bringing this up. I cut out the front here to open it up so you can see right into the radiator. So to me that's pretty cool, so you can see in there. And then the other thing is I changed out the tires. The kit came with the plain tires that were the same size front and back, and then I put these from an older kit on here, so it has the Revell tires and it has a little bit bigger ones on the back, and I really like the stance it gives there. So, and then, you know, it's painted. I used just Tester's blue metallic. It's actually old engine blue metallic out of the little 1/2-ounce jar, and I airbrushed it on, and then, you know, fully detail painted it. And then there's my corrected taillights. If you saw my last video where I said I needed to fix the taillights, so I stripped them and redid them, so now they're much more correct, and I like the way they've come out. And here's the underside here. You know, no exuberant amount of detailing here, but just painted it and enjoyed building it. It's kind of a quick build for me. And the underside of the hood. And there's the engine, and, you know, fully assembled and trimmed. Didn't add any plug wires or anything there. Everything that's under the hood in there was all in the kit. Just painting and detailing and putting it together. And real happy with the way this one came out. And then for comparison, if you saw some of my review videos, so there's that one. That's the 2007 issue, which is real similar to this one. If you saw my review, I showed this one. This is the 1995 issue, which both of these share the same interior tubs, the same chassis, which actually dates back to the monogram TA Challenger. All of that is pretty much the TA Challenger and the engine. This is one I built a long time ago. And I think I pulled this one apart and rebuilt it. I think I repainted it, redid the black, because I think originally I had brush painted the black and decals and foiled the window trim. This one has no quarter windows, and the windows are kind of awkward. That was what most people complained about on this one, is they did not like the roof. It looks chopped. And once you kind of compare the two, you can kind of see the difference there. I think they did a fairly good job on the roof, although this one, the roof, I think needs to be a little bigger. It gets, to me, to my eyes, back here is where it gets really kind of goofy. But and then the back's completely different. The whole body and windows are completely different between both kits, even though the rest of the stuff, so they had retooled all the bumpers, the lights. These taillights are actually molded in on the chrome piece. And then it's a completely different body, and then this has the same tires front and back. And then the hood, the grille, the front bumper, all of that is different. And here's the engine compartment, which it's pretty much the same. The actual engine compartment for the most part is the same, firewall pretty much the same, but all of the parts are in the kit. So, and I did this one, of course I did this one in yellow. Get that hood back on there. But well, she's looking pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with her. And I'll get let's zoom this out just a little bit. So there's my 2007 build. Well, built today, but 2007 issue. There's my 1995 issue that was built and rebuilt. And then the one I've kind of shown in the other one. This one's a completely different build here. So there's that one. That's the one that was a resin conversion kit, vacuformed hood. The stripes should not be white. I don't think any of them actually came with a white stripe. But the original issue, this one, came with both black and white stripes. So I used the white ones on this one. And I had to shorten them. This is the one that's built from the 71 Cuda body and a resin kit. I kind of talked about that one. But I'll probably do another video on that one at another date on the more specifics of that particular build. But I figured I'd show these off since these two are really related. And then I got one more to build. The newest release that came out just in the past year is the 1/25th scale. That's based on the Hemi Cuda. So they're, you know, the most recent AAR Cuda that came out. That's not related to these two kits as far as tooling goes. Subject matter is the same, but I got to build that one. So I may be building that one in the next year as a quick build as well, and I'll pick another color. Then I'll display all four of them together and then go over that. But that'll cut it off for now, and so I babbled on long enough. So thank you for subscribing and hitting that bell button. Thank you for sharing, and please comment. I love reading the comments and you know, replying back to you. And you guys, thanks for tuning in, and you have a wonderful day.